This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
G'day punters. Well, I'm going to assume that you've heard of Bet with Mates by now. Betting together has never been so easy than it is within the Sportsbet app with the new Bet with Mates. But there's even more features coming now. You can start rating your mates' bets with emojis. No guessing what some of my bets would be rated with. I'm not going to go into detail on what that emoji is, but you can probably imagine. But my favourite feature that's just recently come out is the late join. Plenty of my mates have Bet with Mates groups that are absolutely rolling, and I haven't been able to be a part of them. But now I can with the late join feature. I can jump right in there and also set a max stake. Enjoy the app and most importantly, gamble responsibly.
I'm never off my grind. I'm always on time. I'm ahead of the game. I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays off. I pay dues. I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so fresh. I'm so raw. Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like A-Day. I ball hard and clutch play. It's game time like A-Day. Now let the games begin.
Well, Bendigo has been a hotbed of Australian basketball talent, and the fans have fond memories of former NBL greats Glenn Saville, Matt Campbell, Aaron Trahair and Olympian Christy Harrower. Today, the New Zealand Breakers take a home game to regional Victoria against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who are looking to build on the form they showed on Thursday when they also took down the ladder leaders Melbourne United. Hello, everybody. I'm John Casey. Thanks for sharing your Sunday afternoon with Leonard Copeland and Liam Santamaria and I. And this is two desperate teams.
Yeah, both looking for a bounce-back win desperately. Of course, the Breakers, 6-game losing streak, bottom of the ladder, and the Phoenix, geez, they've really fallen away. Lost 7 of their last 8, but they have beaten the Breakers in each of their last 6 matchups in NBL regular season games. So, should be an interesting one.
Let's take a look at the New Zealand lineup. The DoorDash starting 5, your delivery partner of the NBL. And there's a lot of talent there.
There's a lot of talent. Abercrombie's back. Delaney's back. Wetzel, one of the best big men in the league. He's there. I'm looking forward to a matchup against Delaney and Creek. They like each other, but they really go hard at each other.
They do. That is a fun matchup. We're looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to having Corey Williams courtside with us today. And I know, Corey, as we welcome you, you're a big fan of Usman Jeng and Hugo Besson and what they've brought to the NBL this season.
I certainly am. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm really looking forward to seeing and continuing to watch the growth of Usman Dieng. It was a rough start for him. We all know this league is not an easy league to just do well in, especially at that young age of 18. But he has grown into his own under his coach. He's been flourishing the last, I'd say, 10 games. And I look forward to seeing him continue to rise up the ranks of the NBA draft.
And a good vibe there in the venue, Corey?
Vibe is definitely well. I'm looking forward to seeing a good one. You know, Yanni Wetzel, like you mentioned, he has been a great player for New Zealand individually. He's going to have a good one today. He's going to continue that good form. But it's not going to be an easy game because, you know, that team on screen right now is looking forward to bounce back. It's been disappointing the way they bottomed out, but doesn't mean they don't want to finish the season off as strong as they possibly can.
Very good point. The DoorDash starting 5. Well, there you have it. There is talent loaded there as well.
Yeah, no change from the other night. Still missing Ryan Brockhoff, of course. Xavier Munford's been playing well. Mitch Creek is, of course, their highlight player. And Joe Chi coming off a really good performance in that game the other night against Melbourne, where I thought they showed a bit of heart, Copes.
They did. Look, they've been disappointing. But like you said, they're playing against a hometown rivalry. You're playing against, you know, guys that you know, and they showed a bit of fight, and I actually thought they were going to win this game, but Melbourne were just a little bit more composed down the stretch and got it done.
Led by 10 during the third quarter. They'll be disappointed they let it slip because it would have been a huge result for them.
Yeah, they've had trouble executing down the stretch all season, especially the second half of the year, and whilst they were in the lead, they looked like they were in control. Melbourne too good down the stretch. And to watch this kind of stuff at the very end of the game, frustration from the Phoenix, their arch rivals barking at their home fans saying, see you later, your season's over. That's got to sting.
It sure will. And let's not forget that the Phoenix, well, they've beaten Melbourne, they've beaten Perth, they've beaten Illawarra. Only team in the top four they haven't beaten is Sydney, and that's why they're going to be on the outside looking in. 12-12 on the season, remembering last season 19-17 in that expanded season, and their first season in the competition 9-19. So they're a team on the rise, perhaps though with a little up and down this season, more than they had hoped. But we get set to go here. Our Kmart ball kit for today is Hussein, and what a great story this is, getting out amongst it and part of the show. We wish him the best and good luck in your basketball career, young man. Keep it going. Hoops for the youngsters. That's the beautiful thing about basketball. Any age, any talent can play. And right now we've got some of the best here as we get set to go in Bendigo. And the New Zealand Breakers in their popular and familiar pink strip up against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who control the tip and work to the left of your screen. And it's so important when teams are down on confidence to get a good start, and they'll try and get a high percentage play here as Chi goes to work against Yanni Wetzel, turns for the hook shot, rattled around the rim, got his own rebound and gets the 2 and a foul.
He's playing a lot better the last couple of weeks, man. He looks hungry. He looks, and they're going to him. That's what I love about it. They go to him straight away, get him involved. He makes a shot or two, starts blocking shots, and he's ready to go.
He's at double figures in 5 straight games. Wow. Joe Chi, because exactly what you said, Coach. They're going at him in the block. First possession, pounded in down low, and come up with something good.
So Chi gets scoring underway, but can't make the extra there. It's only been 61% from the free throw line this season. Peyton Sieva, guarded by Mumford, picks up the dribble, needs help. They kick it outside. Chance for the Breakers, and they get the opening 3 of the game through Finn Delaney.
Well, that'll feel good for Delaney. It's been a rough year for Delaney. Career low, 38% from the field, but he had a big one when these teams met earlier in the year. Round 2, 23 points. That's a nice start for him.
Shot clock to 7 as they work it to Chi once more. Double team arrives. Munford had support outside. Tarangi's the man, and he fires unsuccessfully. Ball knocked down out of court. A little undecided here on who touched the ball last.
It's a good read from Wetzel. Short roll. Maintained his composure. Found the open man.
You're right, Liam. Delaney's had a bit of a down season. I was expecting for him to be in the top 5 All-Stars this year, because over the years you can see the growth. He's gotten so much better. He's probably one of my favorite players, because we looked at him when I was with the Sydney Kings when he was a young kid, and I knew he was going to get better and better, and he has.
Chance for the Breakers. Mr. Wedge a little further, but good hands from Munford there. Deflected the pass from Sieva, and athletically now he gets coast to coast and puts the Phoenix on top. Randall with it. A poor pass picked off again by Munford, and he's making them pay. 4 quick points from him. Margin out to 3.
A bit of a sloppy start here from the Breakers. Just throwing the ball all over the gym. And the Phoenix making them pay.
They need to tighten up there. 2 turnovers and just 1 shot so far. Abercrombie elevates. Pretty looking stroke, but can't nail it. Wetzel gets after the rebound. Now resumes his battle with Chi. Athletically into the paint. The hook shot wouldn't work though, and Creek the rebound. Goes on with the dribble as well. Now Abercrombie steps in front of him. Munford, they want Chi once more. They're going to make him the focus. That's a poor pass.
It's a terrible pass.
Wetzel picked it off. Sieva in support, joining in. Pass intended there for Abercrombie goes astray.
It was a bad pass, but he does a good job of that, Yanni Wetzel. Slipping around, he picks up a couple of steals, or a steal or so per game. And that's what Xavier Munford's done in these first couple of minutes. Couple of steals, couple of buckets. Early lead for the Phoenix.
His mobility, his agility, his ability to read the game, I think that's what makes him the best number 5 player in the competition in my mind. It's Mitch Creek. It's a wedgie.
A Bendigo wedgie for your Sunday afternoon. You just said the best 5? He's the best centre in the league.
I think he is. He is to me.
Yanni Wetzel.
Yanni Wetzel, can you name a better one?
Joe Lawala-Chul has entered the chat.
Yes, he has, and he's right there. And it is between those two. I don't think there's any doubt. They're the two best fives in the competition. And if you're looking purely at a five, and I'm not counting Jarrell Martin or Xavier Cooks or others like that, Zimmerman leading rebounder, but haven't seen enough of him in terms of games played. But I think Joe Lawala-Chul is right there, but I have Wetzel just ahead of him.
Jeez, okay. Wetzel, what, 6th in points, 6th in rebounds. He's been terrific. Lawala-Chul, what, 7th in points, 3rd in rebounds, 2nd in block shots.
Well, Yanni's top 10 in blocks, 5th in steals. I mean, the numbers are all very similar. And I give it to Yanni Wetzel because I think he's a little more diverse. I think he's a little more athletic. I think he's a little more, perhaps reads the game a little bit better. I think he's a little bit more engaged at times. And yes, he's on a team that's at the bottom of the ladder. And I think that he is a superstar in the making. And he's still a lot of upside. But it's a good conversation point that we're going to enjoy. As Breakers cough it up again. Peyton Seaver's given it away for the 3rd time. They've got 4 as a team.
I can tell you one person that won't be happy about those turnovers. Nice. And that's that head coach, Shamir. He will not be happy with the turnovers. You will hear him in a few minutes. You wait and see. Go here.
Well, 7 unanswered points here from the Phoenix. And it's given them a 6-point edge. And it's all been largely self-inflicted wounds for the New Zealand Breakers. They get it through sets of hands here, and Wetzel, crafty, nice work, building on his reputation.
He's going up against his former team. Don't forget, Yanni Wetzel, 3rd matchup against the team he began his pro career with last season.
Creek against Abercrombie. Trying to muscle his way in a little closer. Abercrombie did a good job. He's an elite defender. But I know about banging bodies with Mitch Creek all afternoon is going to do him any favours. Chance now for the Breakers to get an effective shot away, and Seaver comes up with the goods with his first shot.
It's key matchups all over the floor. Seaver, Mumford, Creek, Abercrombie.
Here's Liafa. Inside, Chi. Nice pass.
Beautiful pass. Good find from Liafa. His last couple of games, Liafa, field goal attempts down, a little assists up, through a season high 6 assists in that game against Melbourne as Mumford gets after it again. Giving the Breakers some grief.
Well, they've made hard work of it so far. Here's Randall firing, coming up empty. So the Phoenix by 3, middle stages of the first quarter. Behind the back, little showtime. Chi is there again. So this has been entertaining so far. 5-point edge for the Phoenix.
Fair to say Simon wanted to go inside to Chi from the beginning.
Here's Seaver exploring, picks up the dribble. Wetzel working around Tarangi, who's undersized, forced to foul. Free throws to come here for Yanni Wetzel.
This is a nice pass from Liafa. Just found Chi underneath, and then it was Mumford. Very next time down the floor, behind the back. Maybe a little fortunate with where that landed. Good hands from the big fella.
But if you notice, Silver's always the bump guy. So he didn't have a chance to get that ball if they throw it up near the ring.
We're seeing a creative, free-flowing style here. These teams with nothing to lose, and they're getting out there and entertaining at the moment. Don't mind a little bit of behind the back and some interesting matchups as we've spoken about as well. But Delaney and Creek hasn't emerged as yet. No doubt we'll see them head-to-head at one stage.
Well, we're talking about that pre-game, and Copes, you said you thought maybe Abercrombie might go to Mitch Creek, and that's what we've seen in these first few possessions. You saw that in your crystal ball. Only
because Delaney is probably more foul-prone, and if they're going to go to Creek, he's certainly going to go at Delaney and get him fouled. And you need Delaney on the floor if you think you're going to get a win. Abercrombie's been playing pretty good defense the last couple of rounds. He's been back, so I just figured they'd put him on top.
Yeah, so Abercrombie comes out, and now Delaney steps into that matchup against Southeast Melbourne's #1 man.
So Phoenix by 3, 4.5 out from quarter time. Adnam working against Usman Jeng down to the baseline, nothing on offer. Pass intended for Foxwell, couldn't handle it initially. Now they've coughed it up. Delaney has Wetzel ahead of him very quickly. It's inside, outside. Usman Jeng fires, knocks down the three. We're back on level terms.
Catch and shoot, knocks it down. First possession since checking in. Usman Jeng having a big second half of the year.
Sliafa works into a double team, now has to retreat. Not a lot on offer for him. Wanted Ashley, bobbled the pass. Shot clock to 4. Ashley puts it on the deck, muscles his way past Wetzel. Nice creative finish.
Nice finish. Southeast Melbourne are very small, though, with Foxwell, Atnam, and Liafa at their 1, 2, and 3.
Wetzel goes hard back the other way. A chance here, Creek off and running. Pulls up for the triple. He's short on the rim as we go courtside to Corey Williams.
Yes, gentlemen, we see Ousmane Dieng steps into the game, gets a wide open look, and confidently knocks it down. He's playing with such high confidence. Liam, you just touched on it about a minute ago, saying, you know, he's having an explosive second half of the season, and that is exactly why NBA teams are so high on this young man.
Yeah, it's been fun watching his progression as McDowell White scores down the other end. He's scored in double digits in 8 of his last 10 games. Adnam can't hit there. They've made a focus of him, made a bit of a showcase of his talents in the second half of the year, but he's well and truly taken advantage of those opportunities.
Randall turns down the shot, goes to Delaney. Had the smaller Liafa in front of him, gets the 2, draws a foul. And the New Zealand Breakers back on top here.
Let's line up, guys. One shot.
Good strong take from Delaney. The size advantage, the strength, powered through the contact for the finish.
Smart play. I mean, again, I mentioned you got 3 smaller guards out there. You want to be creative. When you're talking about Dieng, he's playing 2-3 out there. Let's post him up and see what he can do on the box.
Breakers 60% from the field, 6 of 10. A couple of costly turnovers early. Saw the Phoenix open up a 6-point edge. But right now they've got their biggest lead of the game inside the last 3 minutes of this opening quarter. First of our doubleheader today with Cairns and Melbourne. To come a little later, here's Adnam exploring, shut down, needed help. Foxwell's got 5 on the shot clock. Nice pass. Got it to Pinot, who's rejected by the athletic Usman Jeng, getting upstairs with a block. And now Besson, the finishing touches, is off the mark. Wetzel wrestling to get multiple opponents here. Takes on Tarangi and forces a jump ball.
How's the defense from Jeng coming across the weak side? Bang!
And that's all ball.
The length and athleticism on display.
Been a great addition to the competition, hasn't he? Averaging 9 points a game in 20 minutes. And we're going to hear a lot about him. A very fruitful career ahead as a pro.
You know, it took him a while to get going, but once he got going, once he opened up and started knocking those jump shots down, he looked like, because in the beginning I was very skeptical about them starting 2 young guys, 18, 19 years old. But he's found his feet, and he looks good.
Ashley around the perimeter. Tarangi, well, he had it spent before he controlled the pass, really, and now it trickles out of court. Good pressure from New Zealand. 3rd turnover in the game for the Phoenix. Breakers have 4.
Good hustle from Delaney. Just got onto the floor as soon as he saw that loose ball, and he's been active and engaged in these first part of this first quarter. 6 points, 3 boards, a couple of dimes and a steal. Good start to the ball game for him.
Talk about an equal opportunity offense here. The New Zealand Breakers have taken 11 shots, 8 different players involved. So just keep the defense guessing.
Whoever's open, let it fly, Liam.
Well, they're a team that loves to execute their stuff. Last in the league in pace, the Breakers, because Dan Shamir wants them to get through their sets, get the ball from side to side and shift the defense. And if you let them move it around and get through it, they usually come up with high percentage looks.
Jeng once more rattles it home, so it's a 5-point lead now for the New Zealand Breakers after the Phoenix led by 6 earlier in this term.
Corey spoke about it. He's playing with a world of confidence now. You can see it. You can see it in his game. Blocking shots, taking tougher shots, and they're going.
Adnam exploring and coming in from behind. Foul's going to be called on Hugo Besson, his first personal.
does this so well. Adnam just snakes the ball screen, gets the defense on his back, stops, props, gets himself to the free throw line. And down the other end, you talk about Ousmane Dieng. That's where he has a real advantage because he's a 6'10" guard with handles. So he can put it on the deck, he can cross you over, get into the lane. And once he's there, the length to be able to finish over the top. And as he's gotten stronger and more confident throughout the season, he's been able to finish in and amongst the trees in there on a regular basis.
Number 18 on the NBA mock draft back in December has fluctuated a little bit during the season. Nice turnaround and finish there for Rob Lowe to open his scoring account. But certainly some great tools to work with. Ousmane Dieng. Creek against Delaney, so the matchup evolves now. Munford inside, extra pass. Turangi, too much on it from Pinot, but he did well to reel it in. Adnam back to him, reluctance to shoot. Shot clock at 1. Turangi.
Nice move.
They wanted to make us wait, but it was worth waiting for. Margin cut to 3 inside the last 60 seconds of an entertaining opening quarter from outside. Ousmane Dieng comes up with the goods. He's got 8 on 3 of 3 shooting.
He looks like a totally different person, too. He just looks so full of confidence.
Pretty to watch. Here's Mumford in the paint. Turn around and a user-friendly role for him as well. 6 points for Munford. Joins Chi as the high scorer for the Phoenix. Only Dieng with 8 has more in the game. Dow White picks up the dribble. Delaney back to Dieng. Shot clock to 8. Picks up the dribble. Get it through sets of hands. They're going to have to pull the trigger quickly. McDowell White extra pass with a shot clock going off in the background. Rob Lowe can't connect. Last play of the opening quarter. Chance for Mitch Creek and the Phoenix to go coast to coast. He muscles his way in down low, makes it fit off the window. Nice finish to the opening quarter, and we arrive at the end of one with a 2-point ball game. At quarter time, New Zealand 25 leads the Phoenix 23. A whole lot more coming your way here on Sunday Hoops. Well, a free-flowing and entertaining start to our Sunday afternoon doubleheader between the Breakers and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Breakers made some early errors and Phoenix opened up a 6-point advantage mid-stages of the opening quarter before New Zealand hit back. Usman Jeng, 8 points was impressive, and they got out by 6 at one stage as well. And we arrive at quarter time with a 2-point edge. And today's winner of the $50 Kmart gift card is Austin and Brody Reed. Austin loves NBL, and Captain Wild Kyle is one of his favourites. Brody, his bro, is his amazing best teammate in life with every crossover and shot that comes along, and we wish them.
Oh, how good.
Isn't that great?
It was a free-flowing first quarter.
High quality, huh?
Wasn't it? 60% from the field, really, for each of the teams. The Breakers knocking down a few triples. 4 of 7 from long range.
Everyone getting a bit of a look as well. Low, short-armed it. Comes to Adnam.
7 assists, though, for New Zealand. That means they're passing that ball around, getting good shots. Whereas Southeast Melbourne only had 2. Everything's individual, so.
And again, looking that way now. Single numbers on the shot clock. Adnam lost control of it. Oh, it's like a stick of soap there at the moment as we go courtside to Corey Williams.
As in that timeout, in that huddle, Coach Shamir was very pleased with how his team bounced back. As we know, early in the quarter, they had a couple of turnovers, but they bounced back. They played solid defense, but he really wanted them to get after it more on defense. But so far, so good from New Zealand and Coach Shamir.
Oh, active hands again there. Good work from the Breakers disrupting that. Abercrombie, as I mentioned, an elite defender, and that's part of it. Just the nose for the ball and awareness, knowing what might happen before it does. Super competitor. Storied career with the Breakers as well. One of the all-time greats.
Liam, with this team not making the finals, what do you see changing for next year? Do you have any idea at all?
Well, it's a good question, because their focus coming into this year was some continuity. You know, they've looked, I guess you look around the league and you see teams that have been highly successful over the years in the NBL, and they've had that continuity from year in, year out, as Abercrombie drills that from long range. And they thought, well, geez, we were a quarter away from a grand final appearance. Let's try to kind of bring as many of these guys back as we can. But the second half of this season,
nice dunk,
finishes down the lane, has been hugely disappointing.
Yep.
So that'll be what they'll be thinking about. Geez, do we really start to flip this up a little bit, or try to wipe that slate clean and do it all over again?
Geng looks inside, low, good seal. Couldn't finish from close range. You'll be disappointed with that. Open bucket beckoned for him. Munford goes on with it. Chi just bumped there by Rob Lowe, who's going to pick up the foul. It's going to be his first personal.
Me speaking from an import perspective, I really like Mumford. I really like the fact that he is a quality import who will pass the ball but can score. He seems like a good guy off the floor. And you're talking about continuity, that's a good guy to bring back as well. I mean, because a lot of these teams nowadays change imports, and it's hard to get that, you know, that continuity, like you said. So when you're changing imports every year, how hard is it?
Globetrotters are coming with it.
Well, the New Zealand Breakers doing a good job of it at the moment, but we're going to be entertained a little later this year when the Harlem Globetrotters get to Australia.
It's time to spread game. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming with an all-new tour. 4 quarters of big plays, ankle-breaking moves, and ball-handling wizardry. Do they dunk? Do they dunk? See the stars rattle the rim in the all-new in-game dunk contest. This is the team everyone can cheer for. The Spread Game Tour is coming.
Yes, the Harlem Globetrotters, this is all about entertainment. It's not a game. It's somewhere where you can create memories. They're coming to Australia Saturday, 2nd of July in Brisbane, and then Sydney, Perth, Melbourne, and finishing up in Adelaide on the 14th. So make sure you get out and get them. You can get your tickets from nbl.com.au/Globetrotters. Harlem Globetrotters. They are a lot of fun. Being able to catch them with my kids. Make sure you go and check it out. If you've never seen them, put it on the bucket list.
Absolutely. It's a great show.
They get you out on court, Case? Bit of audience participation.
I managed to avoid that, although they do get into the crowd a bit, and I was pretty happy when they ran past me.
You dropped your
someone
eyes.
else. Yeah,
You dropped your eyes at the perfect moment.
That was it.
Case would have dropped his head. He wouldn't look at the guy in the eye. No, not me.
Nothing good was going to happen after that if they got me out there. So Joe Chi to the free throw line. Building on his good numbers. He's into double figures now. First player to do so. Phoenix back to a 1-point margin. Besson work baseline. Quick pass. Good work from Wetzel after he made the error to clean it up. Chi with a rejection. Threw it out of there. Munford running, but not a lot of support ahead of him for the moment. That's good skills as well. Oh, that was well worked. Huge block at one end, dunk at the other.
That's what you're talking about, Copes. Xavier Mumford wheeling and dealing off the bounce and setting up Joe Chi at the rim.
Dozen in the game now on 5 of 7 shooting. Mumford's got it again. They're a little careless with the ball, turning over for the 5th time, New Zealand. But credit the pressure that the Phoenix are bringing to that. Chi reels in the pass, but couldn't get anything happening there. Single digits on the shot clock. Munford energized today. Look away pass, found Turang. He couldn't handle it, but eventually cleaned it up and reaching in from behind. Chi knocks it down. Well, did the last touch fall to a breaker?
There's the rim protection from Joe Chi and the finishing down the other end. Truth be told, he's dominating that matchup in the middle.
Yeah.
So far, first quarter and change. He's got 12 and 2 with a block, getting the better of Yanni Wetzel right now.
Mitch Creek wants to go solo here, working on Besson. Rattles around the rim, and Mitch Creek comes up with the goods. So doing a good job of it as well. Mitch Creek has 7, 19 of the 31 the Phoenix have between Chi and Creek.
I'm still a bit dumbfounded when you look at the talent on this team. You know, we talk about it, but obviously they should have done a lot better. Things happen, injuries, but there's so much talent on this team that you would think they'd be in the top 4 easily. To me, I mean, Chi playing the way he plays, Mumford's had a pretty good year, Creek, their superstar. There's just talent everywhere.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a gut check off-season for them, isn't it? Because the way the season finished last year, of course, was they let a 17-point lead in Game 3 of the semi-final series dwindle away. And so they thought, geez, we had that. We were so close. We had it, and we let it fall away. And then they come into this season, and they were rolling. 11-5, second on the ladder. And throughout the second half of the season, they've had similar issues closing out games. So many. What is they've lost 7 of their last 8. How many of those losses, Case, have been by single digits?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Where they've had double-digit leads.
6.
At various times in the game. And then, you know, then, of course, 2 crucial losses in the last couple of weeks in Adelaide and Cairns, where their energy just wasn't at the level. So they're going to need to do some soul-searching over the off-season, try to finish this year on a high with a couple of wins, and then have a good long think about how this season got away from them.
Yeah, it has got away from them after a 3-0 start. The Breakers, well, they have gone off the boil at the offensive end at the moment. 8-3 is the run from the Phoenix at the start of the second here through the first 3 and a bit minutes. All the momentum with them. Chi spinning on Wetzel. Got a bump on him and will be called for the foul here, Yanni Wetzel. Going to be his first personal. He's got his hands full at the moment. And this is what we expected to see on a regular basis from Joe Chi, which we haven't seen enough of. But tonight, well, this afternoon, we're seeing it with that 12-point haul.
This is one of the matchups that suits him in the league. Joe Lawala-Chul is one of the others. You know, a real solid 5-man who likes to bump and grind around the rim.
Munford fires, and that's all the bottom of the net as well. 6-point lead here. Melbourne has scored 11 unanswered points. And the Breakers, they need to lift. Just 1 of 5 from the field since quarter time. Wetzel from close range is a good option. They can't contain Munford at the moment. 9 points, 4 assists. Can't add on those numbers. And just a hand in the back there from Abercrombie. Mitch Creek is asking the camera crew if they're okay. He's a nice fella. But Abercrombie just out-hustled there. Second personal called on Abercrombie. Mitch Creek just worked inside him. Can't get you any closer than that.
That's body on the line type of stuff.
So Phoenix by 4. Our cameraman is all good. Gee, nice footwork. Steps beyond Wetzel, helps himself to 2 more. How about this? Just 14 points.
Just like a different player, doesn't he?
Margin back to 6. 13 points here. And it took over 4 minutes for the Phoenix. It's the type of offensive output that we were expecting to see from them. They average 87 a game, which is 4th in the competition. Jang penetrating, takes them on. Gets it done again. That's his first shot since quarter time. He played almost 5 minutes. He was the hottest man on the floor for the Breakers in the opening term. I'm surprised it's taken this long for them to get him involved. Let's go courtside, Corey Williams.
I'm going to explain why this is a beautiful game. You have Ousmane Dieng balling. 10 points, couple of assists, making the right plays when he gets the ball and they play through him. High IQ that's being on display in this game. Then on the other end, you have Joe Chi balling. This was the Joe Chi we all wanted to see consistently, and we expected that. It's unfortunate we didn't get it. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix did not get it, but it's great to see in this first half.
Sure is. 3-point ball game. Trust you're enjoying our coverage wherever you may be watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. Liafa rejected. Terrific work at the defensive end again.
Right. He's doing it all. Scoring on one end, playing defense on the other, rebounding the ball. Someone must have said, your draft numbers are going up, bro. Someone had to say something because he's certainly having a good one today.
And again, the Breakers caught napping and Finn Delaney's forced to foul. Just been too reactive for Breakers, and awareness has not been as sharp as Dan Shamir would have liked.
On the back foot. Saw Creek duck in front of, get the step on Abercrombie for the offensive rebound. Liafa there. And as a result, they're racking up fouls. 4 fouls over the limit. Free throws the rest of the way towards half-time for the Phoenix.
And they made a mistake putting Liafa on the line because 19 of 21 at 91% coming into this game. If he goes there, you may as well count them. So the margin back to 5. Phoenix controlling the second quarter. Jang, the fancy footwork on the baseline, working against Mitch Creek, steps back. Yes.
He's feeling it.
That was tough. Creek was up for the challenge. Right in his grill.
Is that what you were talking about, Corey?
And right here, his stock is going up right in our face. You know what's happening right now?
Right
A
in Mitch
breakout
Creek's face.
game is what's happening. That's what's happening. Scouts are in the building, and the Knicks are here. I was talking to the Knicks earlier. Corey, what you think of this young man? I said, he the real deal. To the left of me was the Knicks scout. To the right of me was his dad. And his dad's really happy to see the growth and confidence in his son.
So are we. It's been spectacular, particularly in this one. 14 on 5 of 5 shooting for Ousmane Dieng. But at the moment, it's the Phoenix who have got all the answers as Liafa joins the 3-point party. So the Phoenix have opened up a 7-point edge here. Biggest lead we've seen in the game so far. The Breakers have got their hands full. Abercrombie trying to ease the situation, does so.
And he hadn't missed a beat. Abercrombie's been hurt most of the year. Came back, knocking down threes like he never left.
Yep. 368th game today. 39% all-time from 3-point territory. Over 500 makes. It's an extraordinary career. Good hustle. That's what Dan Shamir wants to see a little more of. Is players getting after it on hands and knees. And
the gentleman takes them round. The number 10, Tom Abercrombie.
3:23 left on the clock here until half-time.
Well, it wasn't a long rest for Joe Chi. Dominant force in this first half. He's now back out there, and Simon Mitchell going with the two-headed monster. Chi and Ashley sharing the floor together.
Phoenix by 4. Seaver working against Foxwell. Shot clock rolls to single numbers. Jen, good pass again. Wetzel shut down by Ashley. And travelling violation called on the Breakers.
And that's where that kind of lineup can help you defensively. Joe Chi's out showing on the ball screen, but Brandon Ashley, the length that he provides defensively, is there ready to help at the rim as Wetzel rolls to the cup.
Both these guys have had problems in foul trouble throughout the year, but they're doing a pretty good job in this first half.
Game muscling up. Chi and drawing contact after the free throw line once more.
It's going to be a second foul on Wetzel. She knew that he was out of position. Contact was coming. If he attacked with aggression, back to the stripe.
Did someone say Hungry Jacks? Hungry Jacks? Hungry Jacks?
Joe Chi 2 of 3 from the free throw line so far. And Phoenix 7 of 9 overall. Breakers are 4 of 4 from the free throw line. This has been a good second quarter. Seesawing affair in the first where both teams enjoyed a 6-point lead. But since quarter time, the Phoenix have been able to dictate largely through Chi. He's now got 10 points in this quarter out of the 22 his team have come up with, and that's a little better from Delaney. But quickly back the other way, Liafa, Chi, Wetzel, good position on that occasion to close him down. Munford, Randall went under the screen. Can't make him pay though, and Jeng hands over to Seaver. Rebound count 12-9 in favour of the Phoenix. Inside, the pass was telegraphed there from Delaney. Never got to Wetzel. Mumford, coast to coast, off glass, adds another 2. He's got 13 now.
It's 4 steals for Mumford in this first half. He's just getting into the lanes, picking off passes, and getting off to the races.
So inside the last 2 minutes of the first half, Phoenix by 6. Foul going to be called on Joe Chi. So his second foul. Wetzel has 2 as well. Stays on the floor. Laurie's very animated on the side, Dan Shamir.
I love it, though. That means he's engaged. Although they're not having a great year, he's still engaged. He wants his team to do well.
Randall fires. Couldn't get it to go. So none of 2 from the field. The chase on Randall. At the other end, the Phoenix have got the answer once more. Oh, Liafa is turning it on against his New Zealand comrades. 8 points. A couple of assists for him.
Doesn't lack confidence.
No, not at all.
Liafa. He's a big shot taker. Sometimes he's a big shot maker. And this first half, as you say, Case, 8 points, 2 of 2 from long range. And forget, this is his first season in the NBL as a fully contracted player.
Right.
Came into the league last season as a DP, played a bunch of minutes. It's been a bit of a roller coaster of a year because they love what he brings defensively, but then you think, oh, I don't know, you've been taking some big shots in big moments that maybe should have been going to other guys. But if he can work through that, he's a player in this league.
He is a player. Sure. And you're right, Liam. He does take some shots that you go, wait a minute, Creek was there. Maybe you should have looked at Creek. But if the coaches aren't saying anything to him, which they're not because he's still taking them, then obviously they like it. I mean, as an old player and we played this game, we know sometimes as a young kid that's not your shot. Even though you're confident enough to take it, maybe I'd give it to the veteran guy who can make the shot, you know, rather than you taking that shot. But he's doing it all year. Coaches haven't said anything, so obviously they like what he's doing.
So is the balance then of the Phoenix team something that they've wrestled with as well, where you have Liafa, you have Adnam and you have Munford?
Yeah, I mean, that has been a juggling act, hasn't it? I think we went into the off-season thinking, well, which one of those two guys are they going to bring back? Which one of them's Tasmania going to pick up? They brought them both back. And then they get the import guard. He's a combo. You expect him to play a whole bunch of point guard. They've been juggling that all season. Not sure the mix has, or that balance has really ever perfectly arrived.
Is Randall looking for his first points? Again, short, couldn't get it to go. So hasn't been able to have the influence that the Breakers would have hoped. Chase on Randall, none of 3 for him. A little over a minute out from half-time. That's good defense, though, from Randall. And he's going to draw a foul on Munford. Never had position in his first personal, 13 foul on the Phoenix. It's interesting. Top 4 teams in this competition all have something in common. They all have a player in the top 10 in rebounding. They all have a player in the top 10 in assists. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix have neither. They do not have a player in the top 10 in assists. Munford doesn't get into that category. And Joe Chi is just outside the top 10 in rebounding. Perhaps that tells a story of why they're on the outside of the top 4 looking in. I know they've got Mitch Creek, who's second in scoring, but those top 4 teams all have a rebounder in the top 10 and someone, a facilitator in the top 10. And for whatever reason, whether it be the mechanics or whether it be the balance of the team, they haven't been able to get it going. As Liafa misfires there. But we've seen here with Joe Chi now 6 games in a row in double figures, 16 on 6 of 8 shooting coming into half-time. If they can get that on a more regular occasion, then that's what they needed. And how about this from Usman Cheng now? 6 of 6 from the field, including 4 triples. He's got 17.
He's just balling, Coach.
See, let me tell you something. If that scout is in the building, like Corey says, he's seen enough. I think he's seen enough.
He's on the phone.
He's on the phone.
Here's Adnam penetrating, forced up a tough one. Came to Liafa again in the right place at the right time. Then he's into double figures right on the stroke of half-time. We almost get a Harlem Globetrotter finish. But entertaining first half concludes here. And the Phoenix enjoy an 8-point lead after New Zealand led by 2 at quarter time. It's the Phoenix 52, the Breakers 44 here at the half.
Fun first half. 96 combined points on the board. Not a whole heap of defense being applied, but guys out there getting it done. Usman Jiang, what a massive first half. 17 points on 100%. And Joe Chi, a dominant force down the other end with 16.
So we'll try and get some reaction courtside. Corey Williams is working there for us at the moment. Entertaining first half. Here's Corey.
Entertaining first half, 13 points, few assists. How you feeling out there?
Feeling good. We just playing up-tempo, playing fast, trying to get out in transition. We're playing good basketball at the moment.
Joe Chi, you are finding him, and he's delivering in the first half. Your thoughts on his performance?
Oh, yeah, we made it a point to find him early, get him going early. We know Yanni got two fouls, so we just want to keep making him a presence throughout the game.
Young fella Usman Dieng. Talk to me about his first half.
Oh, tough player. I've been watching him throughout the season. He started off slow early, but he got his confidence, and he's playing well, playing good basketball right now.
What is it going to take for you guys to get this game in the second half?
Just stay physical, boxing out, keep running, keep establishing that inside presence, and just keep playing good basketball.
Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
Corey Williams courtside for us here. It has been entertainment. Xavier Munford finishing with 13 points and 6 assists at half-time. He's steering a ship, and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix with Joe Chi on fire, enjoy an 8-point lead. We've got more for you right after this. Very entertaining Sunday afternoon of NBL hoops coming at you here between the New Zealand Breakers and the South East Melbourne Phoenix. They traded blows in the opening quarter with both teams enjoyed a 6-point lead. And then in the second quarter for the South East Melbourne Phoenix, they started to make things happen. Got out by as many as 9 and they'll settle for an 8-point advantage here. 52-44 is the equation at halftime. It equals their highest halftime score of the season. They've scored a half century 5 times this year, the South East Melbourne Phoenix, but they are the only team in the competition who have never got to 100 this season. Wow. So that's the challenge for them now, is to keep this going, and the way Munford and the way Cheat are playing, that's well on the cards. But likewise, Usman Jeng, what a performance that has been. Unbelievable. 6 of 6, including 4 from deep.
Yeah, he's been terrific. 100% from the field. Chi and Munford, of course, leading the way for the Phoenix, who have really, for the most part in that half, been getting what they want. Some steals and transition opportunities, and then a whole bunch of easy baskets at the rim. That's been the story for the Breakers all season. Look, nearly 60% from the field for the Phoenix. 34 of their 52 points scored inside the paint, and a whole bunch at the free throw line as well. So the Breakers need a check. They've been good offensively. 44 points at a high percentage. Need to play some defence.
Well, they've got to find an answer for Joe Chi, don't they, at the moment, because he has been outstanding. 6th game in a row in double figures and really turning it on here to the extent that we were hoping to see this every single week, but things haven't unfolded that way. But at his best, well, he's very good.
Absolutely, and Mumford said it. They made a point to come out and get him going early. And he look, whenever you throw the ball up to that big guy, he's going to catch it and put it in the hole. And they've done a good job of Mumford with 6 assists, and most of them are for the big fella. So, again, had he played like this earlier in the year, you'd see a much different Phoenix team, I think.
Must be outstanding to see this unfold at training, to see what he's capable of there. We know, without someone being there standing in front of you trying to defend it, but he's such an awesome weapon for them to have. Yeah. And this matchup with Wetzel, well, he's clearly on top.
Yeah, he's had the better of this matchup for sure. And we spoke earlier how it just sort of suits him, you know, having a big guy like Wetzel to go up against. He's struggled against the more mobile 5s around the league. You look at a guy like Jarrell Martin for Sydney, these type of guys. But the big brutes like Wetzel and Joe Lawala-Chul, he's had big games.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Has been very impressive. But Usman Jeng, well, how about this? He has been outstanding. He's really impressive. And it's nothing that we haven't expected from him. But when we see it and we see it in all its glory, well, it's certainly a thing of beauty.
He's just playing with so much confidence now. Again, I spoke about him in the beginning of the year, saying he's young, he's probably not ready. But over the year, he's just gotten that confidence. And Corey spoke about the NBA scouts being in the building. Where if you're going to play well, this is the time to play well. And he's 6 for 6, hasn't missed a shot, playing on the defensive end, blocking shots, rebounding the ball. Just looks like a confident player.
Now, I said when he first arrived, everyone needs to be patient with Usman Jeng. He's so young, and he was just kind of getting comfortable in his own growing body, and we're going to see the fruits of that labour in the second half of the season. And there's the confidence on display. He's knocking it in from long range, putting it on the deck, scoring a little inside the paint, having a huge second half of the year.
And another tick for him is the fact that he's been durable. The New Zealand Breakers don't have a player, not one, who has played all games this year. He's played 21. So he's been thereabouts. He's been able to contribute. He's been able to stay, involved, and at such a young age. Well, that just goes to that's another tick for him as well. If you're looking at the bigger picture in NBA, an 82-game season.
He's a baby, man.
That's what I mean. You're 18.
You can drop him on the floor and think he's a baby, man.
Of course, he's durable.
That's right.
He's a teenager.
No, but I mean, in terms of competing in this league as a teenager as well. What's the first thing that the vets are going to do? Oh, well, let's just make him know.
Let's rough him up a little bit. Yeah, let's rough him up a little bit. And I said that in the beginning when they started the 2 young kids, Basong and himself. How do you start 2 young 18-year-olds? But they're playing with veterans now. They're getting better, and it's only going to help them in the NBA.
It's been great for those guys. They've only won 5 games,
right?
Yeah. The Breakers. So it hasn't necessarily been awesome for the team. But right now, in advance of the upcoming NBA draft, these guys are playing really well.
Yep.
And I know you would have been polite if he was out there with you.
Man, I would have tried to give him 50. He's 18. He's a kid. I got a mouse.
Well, maybe he'll give us 50 here this afternoon. Stay with us. Halftime at the moment with the South East Melbourne Phoenix on top by 8. We are in regional Victoria in Bendigo for this afternoon's clash between the South East Melbourne Phoenix and the Breakers. And Breakers coach Dan Shamir a short time ago spoke with Corey Williams.
Coach, seesaw battle. Offensively, you guys are shooting the ball over 50% in all categories. What is it going to take to get you guys over the line and get a W today?
You're right. Definitely 44 points and shooting well. Although we can play even better offensively, attack the right spots, but we just need to defend. That's our story, and defend little things. There are challenges, obviously, always. You give something, you take something, but defend little things so we don't give 50 points a half.
Joe Cheat's playing well. Xavier Munford is giving you some issues, too, defensively. You talked about it before, but how are you going to plan on slowing those two up specifically?
Yeah, honestly, in terms of game plan, we're keying on Creek, so that gives them a little bit of freedom for the others. But definitely, when something like that happens, we need to make adjustments, and we will.
7 for 7 from the field, 17 points at half. Ousmane Dieng is having a breakout game. He's growing and flourished under your tutelage. How good is it to see him show up like this?
Well, Ousmane for the last 2 months has been great to watch. In the beginning, we knew that it's going to take time. The talent is not something that you can ignore. We didn't know when the breakthrough will happen and how good it will be, and he's done it, and he's playing great, and deserves to be on the floor and put the ball in his hands as much as we can.
Good luck in the second half,
Thank you.
Coach.
Dan Shamir there with Corey Williams, and both teams come up empty on their first play phase of the second half. Munford, though, gets down low and adds another 2 to his tally. This has been a good display. 17 now, 15 for him on 7 of 10 shooting.
Dan Shamir spoke about shutting Creek down. He's right, because Creek had 36 points the last time these guys played. So you would have gone back and watched film and said, we got to shut this guy down if we want to win. Now, obviously, game plans have changed offensively and defensively for most teams, but they have done a good job on Creek. He's only got 7 points, but the other guys are stepping up. So he has to make some kind of adjustments.
So a double-figure lead for the first time in the game. Favour of the South East Melbourne Phoenix, remembering they led by double figures in the third quarter on Thursday night against Melbourne and did not find a way home. A good opportunity for them here against the New Zealand Breakers, and getting down low, Mitch Creek adds to his tally.
That time Creek was able to get the switch, moving off the ball, and Ousmane Dieng had to switch onto him, scored over the top.
They need some offense now. Seaver takes on Munford.
It's that guy Munford who's really been doing all the damage. Yeah, Joe Cheese, their leading scorer. Here is Creek over Dieng. He's got 9 now, but Munford 15, 6 assists. We know what he's been grabbing some steals and creating some action that way, but they're having trouble with him in the half court as well.
Abercrombie. It's a long pass, can't connect on it though. Lee Arthur did well, got after it, kept it alive, found Chi, and now Munford. He's exploring into the paint. Wetzel stood off him and he said, take that.
Speaking of Munford, would you bring him back next year?
If you're going to get this guy.
Okay, but here's the thing. If Kyle Atnam signed and Leapa signed, and you spoke about it not working with those 3, would you attempt? Because let me tell you, Munford's a quality import. And a lot of times teams sign an import for 1 year and then he go off and plays with another team.
There he is doing defensively. He's making a pretty good advertisement for himself.
Absolutely. I'm asking you, Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's a strong take.
That's tough.
From Creek.
Tough.
And one finish. You called for him to fire up a little bit in this second half. Copes, there's Munford sending that away. I mean, the energy he's playing with today, and he's had a few games this season, time out in New Zealand, they want to talk about it. This is the guy they've needed all season long. I mean, this is an all-NBL performer.
Yep.
What you're seeing here today, scoring, diming, active defensively, he just hasn't played at that kind of energy level all season long. So that's the question mark for Tommy Greer and Simon Mitchell, if he's going to be there. Are you going to get that on a regular basis?
10 points to 3 is the run since half-time in favour of the Phoenix. Game-high 16-point lead. Get to Simon Mitchell.
We're in man straight away. Hey, great early offense. I mean, we haven't seen the levels of this early offense since probably round 2. Okay, drags. You're doing a hell of a job running the floor, getting there to the guards. Okay, you can release a little earlier too if you want. We can reward you on that one. Okay, so now mix it up. You've been hitting them in the last 2. Let's shift out early, turn that corner. See if we can't get Joe, but we also got the weak side kick. Don't let up. Hey, after this one, 32.
Good, Copes, to answer your question, if the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix don't bring Xavier Munford back, I think someone else will.
I'm pretty sure there's some teams out there, Cairns, Adelaide, that would love to have this guy on the team because he's a quality player. Now, speaking about, Liam mentioned bringing it the whole year. I think it's hard to when you got Adnam who's playing, who probably deserves to play, Liafa who's playing at the point. Then you also bringing in Barker. You're bringing in so many guys at that position that you don't know. Your time isn't quality time, you know. And what I'm trying to say is, he's been solid from the beginning of the season, and he got hurt. But then I think, as that import, he didn't have that confidence to do what he needed to do.
Let's get courtside to Corey.
I'm listening to the conversation whether you bring Mumford back or not. And the thing is, you're absolutely right, Leonard. If you got 2 other people playing your position and you splitting time with them, how are you going to get consistent play from you?
That's right, Corey.
Sometimes you don't know if you're getting in, and sometimes it ain't going to happen. Play me. I'm an import. You're bringing me in to be an enforcer. If you play me, I'm going to do my thing, as we're seeing right now. But there's nobody, and I repeat, there is nobody that can split time with big expectations and produce. It ain't gonna happen.
11 unanswered points to start this third quarter from the Phoenix has blown the game wide open. 19 is the margin, and it could be about to grow. And just to continue that conversation, it's exactly right what you're saying about gets back to the balance of the team. Because at the moment, Xavier Munford, well, he plays 26 minutes a game. Liafa's playing 29. Adnam's playing 21 or 18. So the minutes just aren't there that Munford probably deserves. And as Liam said, at the end of last season, we were talking about which one of 2 isn't going to be here. And they're both, in terms of Adnam and Liafa, are there. Munford comes in as well. Well, he's showing us what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's depth to that conversation. Because to just put that, for instance, on the coach and just say, well, you're not giving him the time that he deserves, I think that's a little easy. Because if he's playing at this level, if he's a killer, game in, game out like this all season long, don't worry about splitting minutes. He's playing 30+ on a regular basis. So it's a chicken and the egg type conversation. Did his minutes go down because he wasn't playing at this level? Or was he not playing at that level because he was splitting time? I think it's the former.
Much to ponder. Here's Wetzel, who needs to get involved. Can't get it initially, but the second attempt does, and that breaks the drought. It's taken them almost 4 minutes to score here since half-time. Well, that's been happening. The Phoenix have opened up a healthy buffer. Liafa out on the perimeter. Not a lot happening. 5 on the shot clock. Liafa goes to work on Abercrombie. Can't connect. Actually did well there, wrestling against Wetzel. And now Foxwell, playing out of his weight division, grabs an O-board, feeds at the creek for the finishing touches.
Nice rebound, nice pass, nice finish.
There's the hustle from the young fella. Grabs the offensive board. Great cut from Creek.
Great pass.
Got a running start at them, and Mitch Creek now with 14 points, including 7 in this quarter. Foxwell's only seen limited minutes, but what we've seen, we've been impressed with. Looks a good player of the future. Here's Jang. Working on 7 of 7, and he's got lucky 7.
He is on fire.
He's heading towards Dave Barlow type territory right
Why
here.
has he only taken 7 shots? And that was his first since half-time. We played almost 5 minutes. His team can't score. Where's Jang? Get it to him. An offensive foul. Foxwell making it happen again.
He's getting some late season run here on Foxwell. Threw out onto the floor. In a massive moment the other night. First quarter of a throwdown. And steps up, knocks down a 3. There he takes the charge on Peyton Seaver. He's living out his dream right now.
And doing a very good job of it. So the Phoenix come forward, up 18, middle stages of the third. Never saw a double-figure margin in the first half at all. Both teams led by as many as 5 in each of the first 2 quarters, but half-time hasn't been kind to the New Zealand Breakers, and they've got it all to do now. No, they didn't have a happy time of it in Bendigo last year when they played Melbourne United. They were up 16 at one stage and couldn't get home. Here's Jang, Creek behind him, Mumford ahead of him, and defers to Lowe, and now Seaver. Lowe, bounce pass in traffic, never looked likely to reach its target. Here's Liafa, good skills. Oh, heavy contact, no whistle. Mumford misses. And a chance for the Breakers here. Besson pushing to issue, cutting across. Foul's going to be called on Liafa.
Besson's been very quiet this game, hasn't he?
They've done that twice today, the Phoenix. The professional foul, stopping transition, which has been mostly taken out of the game. They've had the ability to get in front, get into what's the refs see as legal guarding position, establish some contact and make them take it from the side.
Real contact, though.
They scored 4 points here in almost 6 minutes, the Breakers. Low, looked like a travelling violation there. They're going to call, they have called that. I think the ref on the baseline was thinking about a foul. The happy feet in the paint there, shuffling along, and they've called the turnover. 10 turnovers for the Breakers, 6 for the Phoenix. It's been an issue for the Breakers in this one right from the start.
And that was a quick run for Rob Lowe. Has really fallen out of the rotation in this squad this season. And as the Breakers jump into a little zone, Yanni Wetzel back out on the floor.
A little over 4 minutes out from three-quarter time. Liafa fires, can't connect. Well done, Wetzel. Drawing contact as well. And another one is Rasmus Bark, who's fallen out of the rotation. And I thought last season, on occasion, he came in and was able to have an impact. But we've seen him very rarely used at all. And certainly not enough for my liking. 14 minutes, averaging just 2 a game. He's better than that.
He's staying ready, though. He's on that bike, trying to get those, keeping those legs warm, just in case he gets that call, guys.
He needs to cycle up a little closer to the coach. Do it right under his nose. The Breakers do on this occasion. It's been a tough night at the office for them. And again, they've come up empty here. And a wet spot on the floor there didn't help Kyle Adnam. Besson at the other end after missing and was slow to recover is the beneficiary.
Well, that was bizarre. Just completely lost his footing there. Kyle Adnam, was it a wet spot? Did he slip?
He certainly slipped, and I think he was about to change direction at the same time, and then his other leg really couldn't brace himself with it, so he went down on all fours.
Simon Mitchell furious. They were about to blow this thing wide open. The Phoenix, a couple of back-to-back buckets for New Zealand. Mitchell wants to chat about it.
A reminder after this game, Cairns hosting Melbourne United, top of the table. And the Taipans are won 3 of their last 4.
With them, if they're still going with that, okay, just high-low, and then we're switching. Want them to do this. We go Vegas. Okay, we go. Okay, just don't stand over here, both of you together. Okay, that over there, he missed an open shot. And then we go Vegas. Let's be ready for the other things, okay? Because this they didn't give him anything until now. Okay, be ready for the Iowa, middle, weak, and the shakes down. Okay, let's go. Fourth side over there. Yep, let's go. You got both ways.
How much pressure is on Dan Shamir in terms of the record this year? They're 5-19, haven't got it done last season. We know the mitigating circumstances, we've spoken about it at length, but the reality is you're judged on a win-loss record regardless of what happens. And right now the New Zealand Breakers are staring down the barrel of their worst season on record. They finished last, 11th of 11 in 2005 when they went 9-23. And in 2014, 11-17 was a low mark as well, but just 5 wins. And well, as we know, it's a results-driven business.
Well, they believe in him. That's why they've extended him. He's under contract for next year and beyond. Spinoza.
Oh, boy! Ashley right over the top. Remember me? He said to his former teammates, take some of that.
Oh, Foxwell in the back court took Seaver's cookies.
And that's 5 turnovers for Seaver. Jeez.
He started slowly and has tapered off after that almost. But look at Ashley.
Ooh. He let him know about it, didn't he?
Yeah, the other thing about Dan Shamir, Case, this is back to what you were talking about before. I don't think we've got to be careful not to dismiss those mitigating circumstances. You know, when you got to keep all this in context because they're on a hiding to nothing. You cannot win on a regular basis in this league if you never play at home. Just can't happen.
That's 100% right, Liam. I agree.
So he needs a solid run at it. They need their full slate of home games next season, and then you can assess him from there.
Yeah. Right now, it's just not happening for the Breakers. First miss of the game for Usman Jeng. Here's Mumford. Used the basket to protect the finish there and adds another 2. Continues to impress Mumford. 19 and 6 assists. And the margin, a game-high 22 here. The solo work was good from Peyton Seaver as he tries to retrieve the situation.
Foxwell picked his pocket one time and he went back for more. Had a couple of digs at it there. Seaver taking it a little personally.
Technical foul for Dan Shamir. And he may be invited to leave the stadium, it would appear. He's another whistle.
First technical, coach. Second technical, bench. Fun, huh? Yeah.
So double technical, first on the coach, second on the bench.
Coach and bench, because he was a substitute. Can I ask the question? No. So 1, 2. You can take 1.
Correction. 1 on Dan Shamir, 1 on the bench.
Well, that was dramatic.
Well, he's just so frustrated.
He's passionate, though.
He's very passionate, very frustrated, and it's all bubbling to the surface.
And again, we spoke about him. Man, he's doing a fantastic job. I don't know how I could be away from home that long and deal with the losses every week and stay as passionate as he has. He's in the game. He's doing his best. You know, you're right, it's performance-based business, but circumstances are just unheard of, never playing at home.
Yeah.
So with those free throws, it's a 24-8 third quarter and a 24-point lead.
Why are you not calling this? It's his ball, right? How about you just worry about coaching there? I'm worried about coaching. That's coaching. Subs. This primary. Bonus 2.
Going to the line.
There's Foxwell in the backcourt. He thinks he can pick everyone's pocket.
Obviously he does.
Right now.
Is Will McDowell.
Picks up the personal there, and the Phoenix are over the limit.
There's only 3 games to go after this one, and Foxwell's just letting everyone know that this is what you can, this is what I can do, this is what I can bring to the table.
Well, if he's going to reach like that on some of these guards, he's going to be sitting on the bench. I can tell you right now, a lot of those guards can handle that. So I get that he wants to get up and in, but there's too many good guards in this league to be reaching like that.
He's had a couple of defensive heat checks.
That's the best way to explain it. That's the best way to explain it.
So the margin at 22, a little over 2 minutes out from 3/4 time. Here's Foxwell on cue to the foul line. Can't connect, left-hander. And Ashley wrestling for the rebound. He's working hard, enjoying himself against his former team. And here's Tarangi from close range, unable to get it to go. Delaney hands over. McDowell White with it now. Jeng past Ashley, confronted by Tarangi, reaching in. Well, he got past 2, and Dane Pinot was the 3rd wave and shut him down. The catch and shoot off the inbound play. No result for the Breakers. Munford. Lob pass, Chi, we haven't seen a lot of since half-time. Goes to work. It's going to be waved away.
It's going to go to the stripe anyway. The Breakers over the limit, but right back into the action and right back into being a focal point at the offensive end. He's got 19 what has he got? 19 points. Equal game leader, Joe Chi.
Been good from the free throw line. 5 of 7 in this one, which is 10 points higher than his season average. He misses the back end. Delaney grabs the rebound, off to McDowell White. 90 seconds left in the 3rd. See the dominance of the Phoenix on the top scorers list. Wetzel outside. McDowell White takes on Creek. Again tried to thread the needle. It was an ambitious pass. Turnover count is up to 12 for New Zealand, 7 for the Phoenix. Again, Munford, he found plenty of room in the paint. Couldn't complete it. Chi the rebound. Shot clock rolls to single numbers again. Wetzel muscling up against Chi, playing with 2 fouls. Has picked up number 3.
Well, it's that left elbow.
Hook.
Yeah, I thought the contact was originally on Wetzel and then the elbow to the head from Joe Chi, but the official, here you see the bumping and grinding in the post, and then that little left elbow.
Not much though, Liam, not much.
No. 3rd personal on Chi.
King beats Delaney, firing a little deep. Mitch Creek cleans up for the Phoenix. So the shot clock, 18 seconds inside the game clock as we head toward 3/4 time. And Creek isolated down low. Gets the double team from Wetzel. Has to release the ball. They swing it around the perimeter. Foxwell, 4 on the shot clock. Looks inside for Creek. It works back to the favoured right hand. Can't complete it. But they get the offensive rebound. 34 rebounds to 18 overall. Phoenix are dominating them. An 11-2 at the offensive end. Jeng strips them of it. Has got time, reaching in from behind. Good hustle, Owen Foxwell.
Well, he likes that, doesn't he?
There's a heads-up play. Good hands from Jeng, and they strip the ball away. Foxwell doesn't give up on it. Knocks it out of bounds. 2 seconds to play.
Jeng fires the 3 against Chi. It's off the mark in the 3rd quarter. Dominated by the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Puts them in the driver's seat as we turn for home. It's the Phoenix 77, New Zealand 54 here on the Hungry Jacks NBL. Well, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix have had the answers since half-time. It was a tight affair through the first 2 quarters, but in term number 3, 25-10 was the scoreline, which helped the Phoenix extend an 8-point half-time lead out to a 23-point advantage. And the question is being posed now to the New Zealand Breakers. What have you got left here? Because the Phoenix are rolling.
Well, whatever Simon said at halftime obviously worked because they came out and played some defense. Caused some steals, got some steals, rebounding the ball well, and shot the ball well. So, again, both teams playing with no pressure, but you still got high-quality basketball.
On the flip side, Dan Shamir told Corey, we're going to play some defense in this second half. It's been an issue for us, the issue, all year long. And Phoenix, 52 of their 77 points scored in the paint, and 21 trips to the free throw line.
The Breakers were none of 8 from long range in that third quarter as well. Got nothing from the perimeter. They roll it down low here. Chance for Wetzel against Chi, playing with 3 fouls. So they get the first 2 buckets of the final quarter. They need more of that. Munford, pocket pass. Chi spinning. Lapavona jumped out. That's 16 of his 20 at half-time, Joe Chi. The Breakers need to keep this rolling. Back-to-back buckets. Jang exploring, takes on Chi, whose defense was solid.
That's where he's much more comfortable. Joe Chi, staying closer to the hoop, absorbing the penetration, and then protecting the rim. Tried to bring him out, started to guard those screening actions at the line of the screen, and it's been tough for him.
He's certainly playing like a different guy today. 22 points, 8 for 11 from the field.
Let's go courtside to Corey Williams.
And my question is, Joe Chi is looking like a completely different player. Okay? Active at both ends, effective at both ends. Where was this all year consistently? That's my question. We know he has the talent, but it's pointless if you're not bringing it on a consistent basis. Where was it, fellas?
Well, certainly on occasion that minutes were limited because of what was being done by the opposition team, the way they were able to exploit his weaknesses, and I think that had a little bit to do with it. But I hear what you're saying, Corey. He's down low, just at the pedal of Wetzel, who goes with a hook shot. Nice finish. So he's up to an even dozen now, Yanni Wetzel.
This battle's been fun.
Yep.
I was interested to see what kind of response Yanni Wetzel gave in this fourth quarter. He hasn't had his colours lowered too often in his head-to-head matchups at the 5 this season, and he's coming up strong here.
Phoenix by 19 at 79-60, 7:33 to play.
A big thank you has to go out to our wonderful partners and sponsors back in New Zealand. A big thank you to Burger King New Zealand, our naming rights partner, Sky Sport. Thank you. Major partner and honey sponsor is Manuka Doctor. Burger King New Zealand, thank you. 2 degrees, keeping us connected. Official telecommunications partner. My FM 88.6, official radio station of the Sky Sport Breakers. Giltrap SA and Giltrap Skoda, thank you. And all of our partners and sponsors of the Sky Sport Breakers, supporting us all season long. Another thank you has to go out to the Victorian State of Greater Bendigo and the Victorian State Government for their support in return of NBL games.
Well, Joe Chi, 22 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks. New Zealand have made the best start here in this fourth quarter, but they need to keep it rolling, and so they chase down win number 6 on the season. The record against the Phoenix overall, not flash. Phoenix have won 7 out of the 10 so far. And Delaney is called for the foul, going to be his 3rd personal.
The Corey spoke about Chi being consistent. A lot of these coaches have found ways to exploit him because he's so big and high pick and rolls. Him having to come out and guard a small guy, then obviously you're going to go past him. But he's right. Had he been more consistent, then they might be in a different position today.
Tao White exploring. Delaney. Call for a travelling violation. So the turnovers continue to mount. 13 now on the New Zealand Breakers. We've got some support in the crowd.
How
good to see that.
How good. Been a long time coming for the Breakers. See some of their jerseys in the building.
Jeez. Yeah, to see some of their fans in the building. What do you mean?
Yeah, a number of their games they've had to play behind closed doors. So we've played, tick over 3 minutes here in the final quarter. And Yanni Wetzel picks up his 4th personal. Fouled out twice this year, Yanni Wetzel. Round 2 against Adelaide, round 10 against Sydney. And that was his 3rd. Just getting a little ahead of myself. This is Mumford. One way, back the other. Got away from Abercrombie, but his recovery was great. Rejects the shot. Besson's overdue in the corner, and he knocks down the shot. Well, they desperately needed that from Hugo Besson, who came into this game averaging 15 points and has hit 43 threes, the most of any player for New Zealand. 32%, but just 5 points for him on the game. Phoenix get it to Munford in the corner for the answering triple. What a game he's putting together here, Xavier Munford. 22, 7 assists, 4 steals.
A good find from Liafa too. That's getting the ball into the hands of the man who's doing damage. Abercrombie responds down the other end. The Breakers show a little bit of fight here. Out of that last time out, coming out with a greater sense of urgency.
Liafa, he fires the 3 as well.
Putting together a nice game. Liafa, highly efficient. 16 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and a couple of steals.
Marching out to 23. And Wetzel takes on Chi. Came off second best. See Chi. Such a force in the paint. Wetzel rejected.
That's 4 blocks for him.
So 11 points apiece here since 3-quarter time. Middle stages of the final quarter. A reminder, Cairns against Melbourne still to come this afternoon. Games on Monday and Tuesday to close out round 19 of the Hungry Jacks NBL. Close range. Finishing touches provided here by Finn Delaney. First score for Delaney since half-time. They need more out of him. Here's Creek down low against Abercrombie, feeds Mumford. They share it around to Adnam, who fires. Now White the rebound. Joining in Abercrombie, trying to measure the 3 and come up with the goods as well. Well, I mentioned they couldn't hit a 3 in that 3rd quarter, and they've started to find the target here now. But unfortunately for them, they're 18 points in arrears.
Abercrombie getting it done at both ends. It's guarding Mumford, switches on a Creek down low, holds his own, and then catches and splashes in transition.
We got one more timeout, right? Hey, we look a little tired these last couple of plays. Fresh legs in here. Let's continue with pace. Okay, keep that ball popping. Stay with the emotion, that's okay, but don't be negative with it. Let's get some actions out of it. Okay, hard back cuts. Let's get some shallow cuts into high on balls, okay? Get out of those quick. Now, if they're switching on those, okay, try and get into the post early. Okay, don't wait until the last 5 seconds. Try and get there with 10. Otherwise, flatten out, ghost action's good for us, okay? Gonna get you right here. Hey, Zay, you're in. What's up? Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. Just watch that, Mosh.
Well, it's been an entertaining afternoon in Bendigo. Good to see a nice crowd in the house as well. I mentioned a little earlier, Bendigo producing some great players, ex-NBL players in Glenn Saville, Matt Campbell, Aaron Trehair, and of course Olympian Christy Harrower, who was a star with the Opals and of course in the WNBL as well. I should also mention Dyson Daniels is from Bendigo, and we expect he's going to be top 10 in the NBA draft coming up. His dad, Ricky, a superstar with the Bendigo Braves, had his number 23 retired. It was almost... you know, he was a superstar, and great to see Dyson Daniels doing such great things. But Bendigo, a hotbed of basketball talent. You hear those names, there's quality there. And we know that they'll enjoy having the NBL in town here for this game this afternoon. So the margin at 18, it's been in double figures immediately after half-time, when the Phoenix, led by 8, scored the first bucket of the third quarter, and it's been in double figures ever since. Let's see what the Breakers can come up with here. Abercrombie takes on Liafa, who was undersized and forced a foul, so he picks up the personal.
I like the fight they're showing in this fourth quarter, the Breakers. Things were really going pear-shaped there. The end of that third quarter, they got blown out in that third, 25-10. They go into that three-quarter time huddle trailing by 23. And after the trials and tribulations and struggles of this long year, could have just put the cue in the rack at that point, but they haven't. They've come out, fought. Abercrombie's leading the way with his energy, trying to finish this thing on a high.
A lot of people don't realize how hard it is to go the whole year and lose as many games as they lost and still compete every night. It's tough, man. It's tough.
It wears on you. Liafa down to Creek. He spins baseline with the right hand and adds the 2. So 16 now for him, along with 8 boards. While they're 5-19 on the season, as Abercrombie gets a cheapy backdoor there, 10 of those 19 losses have been by single figures. And of course, they've lost 3 times in OT. So I think that has a little bit to do with what they're going through as well. The fact you get to overtime and you can't find a way across the line. But full credit to them for sticking to it. 16 the margin here as Creek takes them on unsuccessfully. Loose ball, Foxwell found it, gave it to Adnam. Creek wants to go on with it. A little over 3 minutes out. Mitch Creek decides to go solo. Can't connect.
Couple of those absolute heartbreakers.
Yeah.
Case. The Wildcats, of course, Cotton on the buzzer. And that loss to Brisbane. Miraculous win for the Bullets in that final few seconds. Just a couple of wins that could have just helped the psyche and the emotion of that group, not to mention the win-loss record that slipped through their fingers.
I think every team will look back at games that they shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it's tough with their circumstances, and you're right. You're 5-19 with those narrow losses. It could have been a little bit different.
Are their families? Do they have their families here in Australia?
Yeah, I think that they have had for stretches of time. But you know, that's tough. You know, I mean, you got kids who we're in the school year right now.
Oh, Adnam under pressure there from Jeng. Whistle on the play as well. Looks like Joe Chi has been called for the foul, so it's going to be his 4th personal.
Joe Chi, that's his 4th foul.
2.5 minutes remaining in the contest. Interestingly, Joe Chi hasn't fouled out this season, so it's up to 4. Penetration from the Breakers. If I'm Wetzel down low, nice play from Yanni Wetzel, who now with 14 in the game, including 6 in this final quarter. It's a final quarter where the Breakers have dug deep here. 22 points to 13 is the spread. So full credit to them to fight this out. And it looks as though the elusive century the Phoenix have chased all season might be beyond them again. The only team in the competition that haven't been able to get to 100 points. I saw Illawarra come up with 108 against Brisbane last night, which equaled the highest score in the competition this season. As Munford adds another 2 and says, hold the phone. But Illawarra have reached 104 times, Perth 3 times, Melbourne, New Zealand, Sydney multiple times. Phoenix yet to do so.
Simon Mitchell just threw Mumford back in the game. Said, hold on, this is just not closing out the way we wanted. Mumford has been terrific. Game-leading scorer. That's 25 for him now. Throw in 5 boards, 7 assists, and those 4 steals he got early on. One of his best performances of the season.
Yeah, very impressive. It's Will McDowell-White. Looks for the penetration. Off glass, adds another 2. 6 in the game for him now. 17 the margin inside the last 2 minutes. Had a triple-double in the NBL this season. Had a couple of near misses. Xavier Rattan-Mays back in round 12. He had 12 points, 10 boards, 9 assists. Is the closest so far.
Xavier Cooks, what was he, 1 board and 1 assist away?
14, 9 and 9 in round 18 last week. Now the upper 18 points, 4 assists, 4 boards, 2 steals has been productive as well. And maybe the century is coming. As Besson helps himself to 3 more. So once again, the margin at 14. What's as big as 24 in the third.
A couple of baskets here, Case. They could get to that.
Well, I hope they do. At 52 at halftime, and they've been to the half century 5 times now this season, the Phoenix. And haven't been able to parlay that into a century. And Besson called for the foul, so free throws to come. That's going to help the situation as well.
I think you want it more than they do, Casey.
Referee Scott Beckett. See the funny side with Dan Shamir. An unfamiliar sight there for the Phoenix as they close in on the century from close range. Finishing touches from Finn Delaney. Delaney had 6 at quarter time and now has 12 in the game on 5 of 8 shooting. They're still shooting the ball at 52%, the New Zealand Breakers. As Smith-Milner hands over, Barker, Creek, Munford. Been good, continues to be good against Will McDowell-White. Talked out of the points, Jeng the rebound. Jeng, 19 points, he was 6 of 6, he's now 7 of 11, so has cooled off. And in the corner, Will McDowell-White adds to the tally, and they're back to within 10. They're finishing with a flourish here.
Look at the 4th quarter, 32 points for the Breakers.
33 is the highest 4th quarter score we've seen all season. So it's in some danger here. Creek, baseline. He was fouled by Jeng. There was no whistle forthcoming. They feed the corner, and this man can shoot and come up with the goods, and he does so again. Lucky Barker.
That's a guy that does not lack confidence.
99. Teasing us. The Breakers looking for the highest scoring last quarter in the NBL this season. Not there, but it might be now. It is.
Well, credit to them. We're bringing that energy in this 4th quarter.
Absolutely.
They've made this final scoreline look somewhat respectable. They were getting blown out of the water.
Well, they couldn't hit a 3 in the third. They went none of 8. And they scored just 10 points. But they have scored a season best. 35 points in the final quarter. to close the margin to 10, but it's the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix who go home to winners. Full time in Bendigo, it's the Phoenix 99, New Zealand 89.
Just something for the Phoenix and the Phoenix fans to feel good about. It's been a rough couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks for the Phoenix. The loss and the throwdown earlier in the round, and took care of business today. Got out to a good start and held sway at half-time, and extended that lead in that third quarter, and just did enough down the stretch against the fast-finishing Breakers to come away with a win.
Well, that's impressive. To be down and out, only 10 points in the third quarter, down 24 at one stage, to come up with 35 points to 22, the highest scoring last quarter in the competition this season, just shows the ticker. It shows the heart, because it would have been very easy just to 5-19, not long to go now. Look at this, down 24, so full credit to them.
And we spoke about that. It comes from the head coach. I mean, he's enthusiastic their whole game, so that leads down to the players, and it's great to see. I mean, although they've had a bad season, they're still playing hard every night.
And the veteran leader too, the captain, Tom Abercrombie, you could sense it at the start of that fourth quarter. He sparked them. He came out with some energy, and that was big time for him, avoiding a blowout loss. But the Phoenix were, of course, the guys who won the game, so credit to them as well. 10-point victory. It's been a frustrating season for him, but a little something to feel good about.
Well, Abercrombie scored 11 points in that final quarter, but our Foot Locker player of the game is standing by now with Corey Williams.
Xavier Munford, Foot Locker player of the game, 25, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals. Good game today.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we needed it. We was desperate for a win. Things been going downhill for us, but we was desperate for a win. We came out, played with that desperation, and we got it done.
In the third quarter, first half was tight. You guys had a small lead, but in the third quarter, you blew it open. What changed?
I mean, that's our main focus of the year. We've been having close games throughout the whole year, and so we just wanted to come out in the second half and just really put our mark on the game and make a separation.
A couple more games left. What's the focus for these next few games? You're not going to make finals, but how is it important for you and the team to finish off strong?
I mean, we've got to get better. We still want to get better as players, individually as a team. Just keep working. We're competitive, so we'll go out there and compete every game. You know, keep working on our stuff, and then nothing's changed. We'll keep getting better every game.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Xavier Munford, Foot Locker player of the game. They shot 49% from the field, and he really dictated from the start. Had 6 points. He had 6 assists at half-time. He really set the table for them.
He did. He had 4 steals in the first half, I think. He came out to let these guys know we're still, although we're not making the playoffs, we're still going to play hard. And we spoke about it earlier. Will he stay with Phoenix, or will another team look at him because he's a quality player?
Well, this was exactly what they brought him in to do. Put points on the board, be a force at the offensive end, 25 points, distribute, 8 assists tonight, but also active defensively. That was a terrific performance.
Phoenix with their highest score of the year, 99. They had 98 against Brisbane. They got 97 against Illawarra. They had 95 earlier against the Breakers, 94 against Melbourne. They keep, well, the season average is 87, which is top 4 in the competition.